I'm sure you recognize the small house floor plan, and in this video we're going to edit the walls that we've made with multi-line tools to create openings for doorways, and then we're going to use blocks that we get from the AutoCAD Design Center, and we're going to place those into the doorways. And this is what we're trying to make happen. We've got an opening in the multi-line wall that's of the appropriate width, and then we've placed this block, which came from the AutoCAD Design Center, there into the opening. So the first thing we're going to do, this particular doorway and door symbol, and understand that these architectural symbols for doors and windows and so forth, they are typically not very carefully sized. So the length of this door is 36 inches, but that width, the distance between the two parallel lines for the door, is not an accurate representation of one particular specific door. And because of that, that's going to enable us to use the scale tool to turn this particular door block into a 30-inch interior door. And here's how we're going to do that. I'm going to click once to select the block, and then we're going to use our scale tool. Our scale tool is on the Home tab. It's in the Modify panel, and it's this tool right here. And with that block already selected, we're going to click and we're going to activate the scale tool. We're asked to select a base point. For this particular operation that we're doing, the base point doesn't matter, so I'm just going to grab any random corner on the object. And now we're going to specify a scale factor. And you'll notice as I drag the cursor back and forth, the object gets wildly and inappropriately larger. But we're going to do a scale factor. And I've already calculated the scale factor for us. We have a 36-inch door. We want it to become a 30-inch door. So 30 divided by 36 is 0.833. So here in the command prompt area for our scale factor, we're typing 0.833. We're pressing enter. And that has scaled the door down to be suitable for an interior door now. And we don't need to do that multiple of times. Once we've made that, we can use the copy command to place this door in all the appropriate locations. Here's how the copy command works. We're going to select that door, so that drawing object, that block, is selected. Again, on the Home tab. This is the Modify panel. And this tool right here is the copy tool. We're going to click that tool, specify a base point, and again, for this particular operation, we're just copying, so the base point can be fairly random. I'm going to left click and release. And now it's asking me to place copies. So I know I need a door right around here, and I need another door right around here, and I need a door around here going into the bathroom. And you'll notice one thing we like about the copy command is that it continues on, and I can place all the copies I need in all the places I need them to be. Go ahead down here, and we've got one that goes into the bedroom here. And when you're finally done choosing all of the interior doors you want to copy, we're going to right click and enter to be done using the copy tool. So this is a whole series of little 30-inch exterior doors that we've now kind of pre-staged to go where they need to go. All right, so we've got our little 30-inch doors. For those of you who weren't in class to see the Design Center, I'm going to replace the 36-inch door, and we're going here to the View tab. View tab. And then once we're on the View tab ribbon, on the Palettes palette, we're going to this little tool right here. This tool will open up the Design Center. There's the AutoCAD Design Center, and it's one of the things that came preloaded for you when you installed AutoCAD. And under the House Designer library, in the blocks, we have these blocks available to us, and there you'll see that 36-inch exterior left swing door. Here's how you place a block. You're going to click on the object in the library so that it's selected. I know it's selected because its name turned blue. And then, not clicking on the name, clicking on the object. I'm going to left click and hold down. Click. I'm holding down with the mouse button. I'm dragging my mouse off of the Design Center palette and onto model space. When I let go, boop, I've placed my block. This little X up here in the upper left hand corner will put the Design Center back away for you, and I'm going to return back to my Home tab. There's that 36-inch block, and I want to make sure that he's located on the right layer. He's currently on a construction layer, and in architectural templates you always have either an explicit doors layer or a multi-purpose layer for openings called fenestration. And to move him over to the appropriate layer, with him selected, I simply need to use the Layer Properties pull down and plop him over on the doors layer, and now he's in the right place. So he's my exterior door. And now in order to place him, I'm going to zoom in real nice and tight, and that grip is in the left hand corner of this rectangle that is that door. And I'm just going to use grip editing. I'm going to left click and hold down on that grip, and as I drag my mouse, he moves in, and I'm going to plop him right there. You notice I'm catching the midpoint snap there. I can let go, and he's perfectly placed. Okay. So that's how we're going to place doors. Now, I had an opening already in the wall there, so how do I go ahead and make those openings? Well, we know we need an opening for another exterior door here for the back door for this house. So this is fairly straightforward. We're just going to use construction geometry. I'm going to jump over to a construction layer. I'm going to use the line tool, making sure that ortho mode is turned on so that I get nice straight lines. And I'm going to make a single line that's taller than the thickness of the wall. And he's going to be the fence object that I'm going to use when I use the trim tool. And the interesting thing about multi-line tools, and one of the things that's cool about using multi-line tools for architectural drafting, is that the multi-line trims just the way any other line does as well. So I need to offset this line, offset tool from the modify panel. And my offset distance is going to be 3 feet dash 0 inches. And so take a look at what that command prompt looks like. When we're using an architectural template and I'm entering distances, I need the single quote mark to inform AutoCAD that I've done entering numbers that are associated with feet. And I need the dash to let it know that the next number that comes along is going to be inches. And finally, I have to conclude with that inch mark. So I have 3 foot mark dash 0 inch mark. I'm going to press enter. What do I want to offset? This little piece of construction geometry is what I want to offset. And which side do I want? Over here to the right side. So I'm going to left click. And I'm going to right click, enter, and be done using the tool. So now I'm ready to do my trim. And Home tab, Modify panel, that's the trim tool right there, trim. First thing it wants me to click on is all of those boundary objects or cutting fence objects. So that's going to be both of my little pieces of construction geometry. I'm going to right click, boop, to be done selecting boundary objects. This next click is going to be what do I want to trim or throw away. And that's the part of the multi-line I want to get rid of, so I can click there. Right click, enter to be done using the tool. So I've made that opening that I need to have in order to place my little door. Now I don't need to go ahead and delete this construction geometry. I've made it on a construction layer. So when I turn off visibility for that layer, I'm not going to need it anymore. Over here, we need to go ahead and do an interior closet door. And again, the width of interior door openings is 30 inches. That's 2 feet 6 inches. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to click on the line tool. I'm going to make a line in the approximate location. I'm going to use the offset tool. My offset distance is going to be 2 feet dash 6 inches. That piece of construction geometry is what I'm going to offset. Right click enter to be done using the tool. And now I go to the trim tool, trim. What are my boundary objects or cutting planes? My 2 pieces of construction geometry. Right click to be done selecting construction geometry. Left click on the part I want to throw away. Notice when I'm on the poche area of the multi-line, it doesn't recognize it. I have to be on one of the 2 line strokes in the line. Left click and release. Right click, enter to be done using the tool. And now I've made a new door opening. To place my door there, I simply click on the door block that I've edited to be 30 inches long. I hover over the grip until it turns red. Left click and release on the grip. Again, let the midpoint snap. Let the midpoint snap for my multi-line be the guide for where I place the door. Left click and release. I've moved the grip and I've completed my door. And that's how you're going to add openings for doors and add doorways so that you can finish out the rest of your small house floor plan.